Martijn Icks. I'm an historian at the University of Amsterdam, and I'm one of the co-founding members of the CARP network. At CARP, we don't just study character assassination from one angle, but we take an interdisciplinary approach. So that means we look at character assassination from the perspective of rhetoric, political communication, psychology, communication studies, history, and many more. We also look at character assassination from an intercultural perspective. So we don't just look at contemporary American and European cases, but also, for instance, cases from China, Russia, South America, and even historical societies like ancient Rome or revolutionary France. So who are the targets of character attacks? Typically, these would be people with a high public profile. After all, you need a character that can be attacked in the first place. So think, for instance, of politicians, but also of religious leaders, artists, celebrities, and athletes. When someone becomes a successful victim of character assassination, it means that they will be shunned by their community, they may be disgraced, they may be mocked in public, their statues may be torn down, and they may live on in infamy for centuries to come. While we often think of character assassination as a typically contemporary phenomenon, it also has an important historical dimension. Some historical figures have been character assassinated centuries ago and still suffer from a bad reputation to this day. Think, for instance, of the notorious Roman Emperor Nero. Today, with social media, character attacks have only increased in vehemence and frequency. Character assassination is as old as the road to Rome, and actually even older. As an historian, I study character assassination throughout the ages. In ancient Rome, a famous orator like Cicero would be using rhetoric and speeches to drag his opponents through the mud. Much later, in the 1400s, the printing press was invented, which allowed for the spread of character assassination on a much broader scale, reaching much broader audiences by means of pamphlets and cartoons. Later came the rise of newspapers, radio, television, the internet, and finally social media, which of course are a very popular vehicle for character attacks nowadays. Throughout history, we see that the technologies used for character assassination change. Of course, there are also changes in the political systems and the historical cultures which use character assassination. Nevertheless, there are also a lot of remarkable constants. Studying history allows us to get a better appreciation of the deep historical roots of character assassination. It engenders fruitful parallels for us to consider. And finally, history itself can be used as a weapon for character attack. When historians write about historical figures in a negative sense, their reputation may be tarnished for centuries to come.